Hi boys and girls. Today you're going to participate in the dynamic addition lesson with the stamp game. So as you know, with our stamp game we have units, also called ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. We also have our disc here that we use for our zeros to hold our place value, and then we have skittles that are used in multiplication and division. Goes there. So today we are practicing dynamic addition, which means we will be exchanging, which is my very, very favorite. I love to do exchanging with Golden Beads and Stamp Game because it really helps me understand why it is that we write our little numbers up here, what it is that we're actually doing. So we're going to build our two add-ins, which are 2,693 plus 4,317 to find our sum. So let me show this to you up close. Okay. So first I'm going to build 2,600. It's important that you build one add-in at a time instead of one place value at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I have 90, which is 9 tens. Okay, and then I have 3 units. And actually what I'm going to do is when I have a long column like this, I like to form them in groups of 2 so that I have space for my next add-in. So I'm going to reorganize these. 2, 4, 6, 8, and then 9. Okay. So I have 2,693. Now I'm going to build my second add-in, which is 4,000. $300. And then 110, because I'm going to be building 17, which has 110 and 7 units. That's right. Okay, now I want you to notice that there seems to be an imaginary line in between my two add-ins. There's a reason for that. We want our add-ins to be lined up so that we can clearly see that this is 2,693 and that this is 4,317. Okay? If you have a hard time when you're building keeping that imaginary line, you can put some pencils or something to kind of keep that space. Of course, you would be working on a mat that doesn't have the creases. So we are going to begin with our units because in addition and actually subtraction and multiplication, we always start with our units. Division is the only one that we start with the highest place value, which in this case is thousands. But since we're working with addition, we will start with our units. So we're going to add 3 plus 7. So I know that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 10. Now if you think back to the exchange game that you worked with last year, and maybe even the stamp game, 10 ones make what? 110. That's right. And we also know that tens live with tens, not with units. So I'm going to move my stamp game up so that I have space for my exchanges, okay? I'm going to take these 10 ones. I'm going to put them back in the bank, and I'm going to exchange it for a 10, because 10s don't live with units, they live with 10s. And I'm going to put it up here. And now I have 0 units left. That won't always happen, but in this case, 7 plus 3 happened to have been 10. So if you have a desk that you made, you can put it there. If not, it's okay to just leave it blank. But since I have the disc, I'm going to use it. Now, before I move on, before I do any more adding, I need to make sure and record what I did. So I have 0 units. I'm going to use my hierarchical colors and recording. And I exchanged 110. I'm going to show you what that looks like in my journal. This is what it needs to look like in your journal. We have 3 plus 7 was not 0, it was actually 10. So we recorded our exchange there and we have 0 units. Now we're going to move on to our 10s. We have 1 plus 9, which is 10. Plus 1 more is 11. Some of you might know right off the bat what the value of 11 tens is. But some of you may not know. So let's figure it out. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. So the value of 11 tens is 110. I said 100. And we know that hundreds live with hundreds, not with tens. So think back to the exchange game and also stamp game if you did exchanging last year with the stamp game. How many tens make 100? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. That is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 tens. 10 tens make 100. So what do you think I'm going to do? That's right. I'm going to exchange those 10 tens. Put them in the bank. I'm going to pull out my 100, but hundreds don't live with over here. The tens, they live with hundreds. Put it here. Move this up. And again, I need to stop what I'm doing and record what I just did. I have 110. And I exchanged 1 100. I'm going to show you what that looks like in your journal. Oop, right there. 110. I exchanged 100. 1 plus 9 plus 1 was 11. Okay? So now I'm going to add 1 plus 6, which is 7, plus 3, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 hundreds. What is the value of 10 100s? Let's see. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. That's right. We need to exchange. 10 100s make 1,000. And guess what? Thousands live with thousands, not with hundreds. So these go back in the bank and I exchange my 1,000. There are no hundreds, so I'm going to go ahead and put my disc down since I have it. Then I'm going to stop and I'm going to record what I just did. So I have 0 hundreds. And I exchanged 1,000. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay. Now I'm going to add my thousands together. 1 plus 2 is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No exchanging here. Now, if I had 10 1,000s, I could exchange for 10,000 if we had a larger stamp game. And what color do you think that 10,000 would be? That's right, it would be blue, because we have our hierarchical colors that continue throughout the families. So I'm going to record that I have 7 thousands, because 1 plus 2 plus 4 equals 7. And we have our sum. Our sum is 7,010. I'm going to show you what that looks like here. 7,010. That is our sum. So that's what your work should look like, boys and girls. You should have it labeled Dynamic Addition with stamp game, and then the date. No, that's easy to see there. And then make sure that when you're recording that you label your parts, add and sum, and that you are writing your exchanges, and that you're also using your hierarchical colors. You may visit this video as often as needed, just in case if you forget how to exchange or exactly how to write something down. Just come back to this video, because that's why we make these on the video, so you can visit it as often as needed. Bye guys.